Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Well, hello, and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about. I'm Yield Brovs. Hi, everybody. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Your holiday week has just begun. Congratulations. How's it going
my God.
for you so far, Ben?
I am in full senioritis mode. I apologize to the listeners if it comes through. I just want to get to vacation. How's it going for you?
Well, yes, I'm not opening with a sorry. That's for damn sure.
Well,
Okay?
meaning that
I'm
like
not
I want to
sorry
get,
for
I want,
shit. How about that,
I wanna-
listeners?
I want to be fully present, but I'm just saying, like, if for some reason I zone out, like that's why, because I'm thinking about all the sleeping and relaxing and all the fun we're gonna have. Just 10 days off or so, or a
Stuff
week
you're gonna
off.
get to do on this holiday season. I was
Yeah.
shopping today. I went to Home Goods, and as one does. Okay. By the way,
Yeah.
Home Goods really is not that into Christmas. They're like, here's a couple of Santas and some Valentine's Day stuff. Yeah, my Home Goods, they have one Christmas aisle, and it's sad. It's a sad aisle. Also, why would I pay Home Goods $150 for a mini Christmas tree? Your Home Goods, get over yourself.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's expensive.
It's a lot of money.
I did something very brave yesterday, which is that I went to the Grove, which is like a big mall here in LA. I went to the Grove on a Sunday right before Christmas, and I don't know why I did it. I do know why I did it, because I suddenly got in my mind that I needed to have a like oval-sized Dutch oven. So I was like, I'm going to Williams-Sonoma, and by the way, I did not buy anything, but I was like, I don't care that all of Los Angeles is at this mall right now. I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, why? Then I was there, and I was like, why am I doing this right now? Why did I
Grove
throw
is a bad
myself
one.
into this?
The Grove is
Awful.
a bad one because you get stuck in the garage. It's not only just going in there and leaving. You get stuck in that fucking maze of. It's not a maze, but you know what I mean. The garage. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And they've made it to where it supposedly moves quickly. It does not move quickly. Anybody who's ever been there, especially when there's a terrible family movie getting out. But at Home Goods, you know how when it's Christmas time and it's just these constant underneath the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Na, na, na. Okay, so you want anything to be playing but Christmas music. But Home Goods, you're really taking my wishes too far. This is what they played. Shake your body. Shake your body for me.
Technotronic.
Shake your body for me. Okay, that song was
DJ,
annoying
don't you know? Sorry, I
When
I
it
got
came
in the
out, it was
spirit.
annoying. No, don't get in the spirit. It's anti-Christmas. It's the Antichrist song. I can't believe they were playing that song. Okay, I was very offended, and that song was annoying enough when it came out. It really never changes beyond "Shake that body for me."
It doesn't.
Move that body. Whatever it is, it went on. I
People,
feel
don't
like
you
for
know,
20 minutes.
Don't you know it's about time? Don't you ever know? So it is a very, very repetitive song. You know what's also repetitive? The endless stream of bad Christmas songs as well. Like the Bubléification of Christmas music. The Harry Connick Jr.ification of Christmas music has to stop. We were privileged. We were raised at a time in the 80s when pop Christmas songs were full of fun and joy and synthesizers and they're just like exciting, fun new ways to do Christmas songs, culminating, perhaps climaxing, of course, with Mariah Carey's song. I mean, Kelly Clarkson's song is kind of having a moment now, but ever since like Mariah's Christmas song, it's been basically 30 years of a slow descent into Michael Bublé style music, like slow, jazzy kind of crate and barrel music. And I hate it. Like I hate it. It's so sleepy and the same. And here we are as a nation. I feel like we all come together and love Mariah's Christmas song. And yet there seems to be no desire to make other fun Christmas songs. It's just like, have a holly jolly Christmas. I'm like, I don't want that anymore. Can we just stop Michael Bublé style Christmas music? It's over. It's too much. Mad.
Yeah. Well, Kelly Clarkson came out with something. You know, she came out with her new hit, "Underneath the Christmas Tree."
Underneath the Christmas Tree. That song came out like 7 years ago. I applaud it. I applaud that
It
she has a
did?
new addition. Yeah, it's been out for a long time. It was a
Oh, I thought
long
it was I
time.
thought it was new. You guys, I've been
No,
like
but this year it's
congratulating Kelly Clarkson in my head. Like I seriously almost tweeted her. I was like, "You know what, Kels? This is Ronnie, your friend. Just wanted to say congrats. It's really hard to break into the Christmas music racket. And you really
yeah,
did
no,
it. I mean, what a blockbuster of a tune. I hate it, but more power to you because it won't get out of my head.
yeah, it actually came out in
The Christmas
2013.
tree.
Yeah, it came out 10 years ago. I mean,
Worshiping
I applaud
Satan. That's
her
where I've
at
been. Okay.
I applaud her for adding a new like Christmas song to the pop Christmas, canon. But like if you think of the music that we had in the 80s, like it just was there were so many options. So anyway, the
I'm so
reason
glad
why we're
it's not the
talking about
80s. I
this.
fucking hated the 80s. But guess what? It is Real Housewives of Potomac Day, so let's move
Yeah.
on. Okay.
The
This is
reason why we're
Potomac
talking about
Day.
this extensively is because as long as Real Housewives of Potomac is going to waste our time with useless padding and endless gags, I will waste Real Housewives of Potomac's time with discussion of Michael Bublé Christmas songs. That is how I feel. I am angry. I'm angry at Real Housewives of Potomac because this is one of the very best Bravo shows. With arguably, this may have the best. This is probably like a top two cast, top two, top three cast, and I don't know what's going on over there. I do not blame the cast. I blame production. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they gotta listen. You gotta stop. You gotta fix it. This is enough. Enough. This cast is too good for you to be treating this show like this. These episodes, it's like, did you forget how to make TV shows? What is going on here? I'm so mad.
They
that the
have
show
really
is so
fallen
bad.
far, and this was that. How many years has this won best show from the Golden Crappies? Like
It's
many.
been
I don't
nominated for
think
several
just
years.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's always our favorite show. It's a really funny show, and it has really gone downhill. I have to say, NECA, you've had your chance. You have failed. You are terrible. Has she ever made you laugh once? Have you ever laughed one single time?
no,
This is
I was
Potomac. I need to laugh. Okay, Wendy gets on my damn nerves too, but she's funny. Like, she still is funny. She will still make me laugh. Candace, funny. Giselle, funny. Karen, funny. Robin, not really funny, but that's kind of what's funny about Robin. Like, she's humorless. Mia, funny. Did I already say Mia? NECA,
honestly
not
like
funny.
Mecca, not funny.
Did
I
we give
agree.
what were the auditions for this show? You're out. You're out. Cut her. Cut.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I kind of like NECA, but yeah, this was like her sort of first proper episode without like shrine talk, and she was kind of a dud without it. So I feel like so. Here's the thing: there's some stuff that happened in this episode, but like this was not a full episode. They stretched out their material. They put in so many gags, so many comic moments. These episodes, last episode and this episode should have been one episode. Cut out all the bullshit. Just make it one episode. They are teasing it out for whatever reason. I was like, who is running this show? I did notice that one of the executive producers is the same executive producer who was on Atlanta this last season when everyone was like, fix Atlanta. Atlanta is broken. And this one producer, Eric Fuller, was like, he's like, well, don't blame me. I have no control over casting. And I saw he's on this show too. Now, I don't know if he is the common link between these shows both being really terrible right now, but it was the best that I could come up with. So I'm just like, I need to direct my rage at someone, and maybe it'll be Eric Fuller. Who knows?
Well, there are problems with the cast as well. We've talked about it already at length, so we don't have to go on forever today about it. But the refusing to film with each other, refusing to have discussions with each other, and I think sometimes it just gets to the point where if people hate each other that much, it's time to change. Like, let's stop acting like there aren't vibrant, hilarious people in the world that can come in. Okay? Go find
Yeah.
people and replace people that refuse to film with each other or speak to each other. Now, listen, I don't even think they have terrible points for hating each other. I don't even
No.
think that they should not hate each other. I think they've actually all got points on why they hate each other. Like, you decide who you like or who you don't like or whose side you're on or not. They've gone low with each other for sure. I can see how they wouldn't want to shoot with each other, but then don't go do something else. Don't hold me hostage to your terrible show. Also, Eric Fuller, maybe you didn't cast it, and that's not your fault. Do you not have any control over anything? Why would you be shooting a TV show in the most
noisy of places every single scene. You go from a construction zone of a hotel right to chicken shit bingo with a live country band playing and people yee-hawing during a scene. Really?
Yeah.
Is anybody at work?
And
Who's at
I
work?
know. And listen, I know that like visual gags have now become part of the mix on these shows. You know, Real Houses of Orange County also used them a little bit too much. But they didn't cross the line. And those episodes on Orange County were tight and like a lot of stuff was going on. But here, like, we know as an audience when there's no content. We know when you are like doing a fake music video. When Wendy says, "Oh, that sort of sounds like a country song," and then you stop the entire show to do like a parody country music video that's not even well assembled, not even doesn't even sound like a country song. It's literally starting to look like I'm watching Blind Date. And there's just so much stuff going on screen. It's like there might as well be talk bubbles and Roger Lodge talking. It's so busy. It's ridiculous. It's got to stop. We know people from Bravo listen to this show, some of them somewhere, people from production, someone listens to this show somewhere. Someone who works at Starbucks who gives a coffee to someone who works on Potomac must listen to this show. Please do not destroy your golden goose. This show is so good for you to be treating it so badly.
And the ratings are tanking too. So
are they?
Please save this show. I love this show. I was looking at ratings, Bravo ratings. And last week's episode was like 600 something thousand. Now, granted, that's still higher than Salt Lake City, which I think is having a great season. So you can, and I think it's higher than Orange County. It's still doing better than a lot of the other shows, but compared to its million, it's compared to its million, it's not doing as well. I think the ratings are reflecting that people are tuning out, and I just don't want that for this show. Like we bitch about it, but at the end of the day, we're here to love these shows, not to bitch about them. And this one we've loved for a long time. So get it together. Listen, everyone is allowed a bad year, but this is really bad.
Yes.
Make some changes. Please, God. When you have a mid-season trailer and the only good thing is Gordon, you've got a problem.
Well, we had a feeling the season was going to be troubled based off of just the regular trailer that came out for this show. I couldn't even believe that trailer. I didn't know what they were doing with it. Like, that was all messed up. But you know what? I'm not trying to come from a place of negativity. Like, we still will have fun recapping it, but too late. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to shy away from sending out a distress call when I think it can still be saved. Like Atlanta, I actually don't think can be saved, but this show can be saved. So let's save it.
It can be saved. All right. Well, let's move on
say without
past
something
that
drastic.
stuff and into the fun part, which is talking shit. So Robin, the woman who has come for how many marriages on this show? Let's see. She came for Ashley's multiple times. Was she wrong? Not necessarily. But calling Michael out on his philandering and cheating. There were the gay rumors. There's all this stuff, the business stuff when she came into the kangaroo burger place or whatever the fuck that thing was and yelled at Ashley. There was Monique's. There was how many marriages? I mean, Wendy's most recently when she was telling Wendy, you're only working out and getting your body redone because of the rumors of your husband cheating. Is there any truth to that? All of this, Robin crying because everybody has the nerve to come after her marriage. And she literally said, I've never done anything to any of you guys. That's where we left off, which is absolutely hilarious. And this is karma, okay? This is karma. I don't even want to hear it from you. But I will say, you're even boring when you're crying. So that's another thing. Change it. Change it.
Yeah, well, technically she's crying because Candace has just told her that Candace would prefer not to talk about her lawsuit with Michael Darby, unlike Robin, who did talk about Juan's lawsuit and potentially could have contributed to him being fired. So then Robin's like, oh, I didn't cause Juan to lose his job. I literally sat there and spoke up for my husband, and you just literally are going to say it's the reason that he lost his job.
And Wendy's like, well, it's not smart, Robin, And listen, I want you to take this. I know what it's like to have your family member be maligned, which is true. And I love that she's not letting the tears get in the way of Robin being completely wrong. And so Robin's like, well,
and
listen.
She's also not letting the tears get she's not letting the tears get in the way of her trying to make this about herself. She's like, now let's talk about how Happy Eddie was wronged. It's like, nice try, Wendy.
Yeah. Well, Candace even one-ups her in this, which is pretty impressive because Wendy has no problem trying to make it about her. And then Candace brings out the triangle, the ever-famous, not named by us, but still hilarious, triangle, trademark by somebody, probably on Reddit. So Robin's like, my husband doesn't get in any mess, but every other husband talks massive shit on the internet. Ooh. And you talk massive shit about other husbands all over the place. You can't go talking shit about husbands and not expect them to at least respond to you a little bit on the internet.
Right. So she's basically referring to, she's like, other husbands talk shit. And then Candace goes, my husband defends himself against a lying ass motherfucker, and I will not apologize for the way that he does that. And Robin's like, but he literally talks shit about a person. Me. That had nothing to do with anything. And we see a clip of Chris on a podcast being like, yo, I don't blame
Bros.
Robin.
How dare you just call them a podcast? That's the Bravo Bros.
The Bravo
Who
Bros.
we've yet to meet. We will at some point. But congratulations, you guys are doing great. But
Listen,
sorry we haven't met
meet,
yet. We will.
Well, we're gonna meet the Bravo Bros before we meet the Bravo Hoes. Am I right? Because Bravo Bros before Bravo Hoes, bro. Get it? So Chris is like, yo, I don't want to blame Robin for not wanting to share, but like, did you make a big deal out of our situation to deflect from your situation? I don't know. So,
That's not so bad, I didn't think.
It's not so bad, but I think in Robin's eyes, it's like, why are you dragging me into this? Or like, why are you?
Because you do it all the time. So he's allowed to say that, I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with Robin's
and Robert, whoever he is. Robert, if you're listening.
And fuck Robert too.
Robert.
Unless you're one of the Bravo Bros, in which case meet you soon.
Robert's not on Bravo. He's just someone who we're all mad at in someone's office. They're like, did you see that Robert finished the creamer and didn't replace it?
Yeah. So Robert's one of those names where Robert is formal and so is Rob. Isn't that weird?
You think Rob is formal?
Light. I do. I think Rob is like a formal name. It comes off as. I've never known someone like fun and lighthearted named Rob. They're always like, oh, hi, I'm Rob.
What about Rob Minkoff?
Lion King. I mean, what do you think that's made by an idiot?
What about Rob Lowe? He's not formal.
Very serious person. Extremely serious. He's not.
What about Rob Reiner?
Yeah, he is low. He is fun. I guess.
Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner. Which one's that? The director, yeah? Meatloaf? Is that Meatloaf?
Yeah. Not the singer, but the nickname.
Yeah. From All in the Family. Okay, so Candace is, what are we talking about? Okay, so she's saying, listen, Robin, it looked like you were complicit in what Giselle was saying about my husband having an affair. That's why. And she's like, if you really feel that way about me, we don't need to talk about shit. Okay, but you do, because you're on a TV show. And so now Candace is saying, we're not friends. That's fine. She's like, great. So now we pull up to C-Boy's Heart and Soul for Chicken Shit Bingo.
Have you been there?
I have not.
Every week I ask you about the places they go to in Austin. I'm like, have you been there, Ronnie? Can we go? I actually think it looks like a fun bar.
Yeah, I would go. I just, I don't really know people in Austin. I only know my family, and my family's not like a chicken shit bingo kind of a family. They're really like, so what chain restaurant do you want to eat at today before we go to the Costco and or the Home Goods,
That is not mutually exclusive from chicken shit bingo. You can have chicken shit bingo at Applebee's. Why not?
Well, yeah, I guess you could. So they come into this chicken shit bingo place, and Karen is terrified of chickens. Dun, dun, dun. And in the second SUV, Candace and Robin are still arguing and basically saying, we're not friends. No, we're not friends. No, we're not friends. And Robin's saying, it's very clear who's totally against me and enjoying the downfall of Robin. I hope it is, because I'm waving a flag over here. I'm enjoying it. Personally, it's fun for me. So
You are not the Roman Empire, okay? There's no downfall going on here, okay? You're just sort of at the same place as you were before. The downfall of Robin. Also, by the way, I feel so bad when this is the second time this happened this week, when these ladies, they dress all up, all nice to go to a nice place, and then they go to this bar. They are so woefully overdressed. This happened in Miami, where they all dressed up and were taken basically to Flavortown. And now everyone here is dressed up, and everyone at the bar is like in ratty t-shirts and jeans. These ladies are so dressed up for it. So they are completely dismayed by it. So, and they all have to like cram into a banquet, which is hilarious. There's like 8 of them around this banquet that seats like 5 people. So they cram in. Half of them are wearing bright orange. And Candace is now crying. And I was like, at first I thought it was a joke. I was like, no, she has actually pulled out a triangle, and she is not only crying, she's like bawling in the corner. I'm like, why is Candace crying right now? Like, there were no major attacks were made against her. Nothing was really said. It was Robin who was crying. I was like, this is where the show is really good. At the silliness of these moments, that Robin starts to cry, so Candace starts to cry to outcry Robin.
Well, Candace is crying because of the hurt of her husband. So now it's like we're both going to cry over the hurt of our husbands. Like, whose husband's hurt was greater, Candace's or Robin's? So, by the way, both of your husbands probably cheated on you. Sorry. That's just, they probably did. Now, I know that the lady who claimed to cheat with Candace's husband came out and said that she was lying, and she's never even met Chris Bassett. That said, I wouldn't put it past Chris Bassett. That's it. But with that girl,
but also like,
just in general, I believe it. But also, you know what? I believe in nobody. That's gonna be my hit song. I believe in no one.
I believe in nobody.
I don't believe in you or you. Or you either, or you, or you.
The preacher's strife. So, the thing is that, like, what's also funny is that, like, Chris, if I remember correctly from last season, Chris seemed by and large not terribly affected by this. I think he was annoyed. He didn't like it. But by the end of the reunion, he was sort of like, listen, I heard what you said. I'm sorry I made you uncomfortable. Let's move on. And he even was telling Candace, wasn't he yelling at Candace at the finale party? Like, you got to stop. You got to stop. I got the impression that Chris, of course, was not pleased, but he didn't care enough. He's like, whatever, it's Giselle being Giselle. Sorry I made you uncomfortable. I'm moving on. I really don't give a shit. I've lost respect for you. Moving on. I feel like it's Candace, the one who's like harboring this, but my husband, this hurt us gravely. And I feel like I think she's been looking for someone to say, I'm so sorry I did not consider you and your marriage. I'm so sorry I delegitimized it. I'm so sorry I made it sound like you, America's princess, America's sweetheart, an intelligent woman who's doing all these things. I made it sound like you are married to like a Michael Darby type. I think that's what's going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'm Team Candace on that one. I would be horrified too. I mean, Giselle used assault language. She was like, your husband trapped me in a room. Like, he made me go to a room, and then he did this, trying to like Me Too her husband. That's not cool. Okay. Especially, I mean, to say like, I felt, I didn't like you, whatever, like if she had worded it differently or whatever, but she was given many, many opportunities and she kept wording it in this like sexual assault language. Not cool. I mean, she would be fucking dead to me too. And then she gets to the point later where she says, well, there's a non-starter with me because Candace used colorism language against me and racist language against me. So that's a no-go. To which I say, yes, I don't blame you, but you also used assault language against her. So that's where, that's where I'm saying
Toxic
I agree with both of
toilet
you.
bowl.
I
Toxic
agree with both of you.
toilet bowl
I wouldn't talk to
vortex.
the other person either, but you're both right, but you're also
No.
both very wrong. And I don't want to
But
watch
I'm
it
not-
anymore. Like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I'm not actually even relitigating their feud. I'm more questioning, like, here when Candace, if Robin's crying about like the Robin stuff, and then Candace like, I'm gonna cry also because my husband was so wronged. It's like, yeah, he was, but also he's moved on, so you have to start moving on too. But maybe he hasn't
I
moved
don't know.
on.
I don't think so. I don't think when Robin's crying about everybody attacking her that it's wrong for Candace to remind her over and over again that Robin did it first and worst with Giselle. It's technically Giselle did it, but Robin's her little henchman, and we all know it. Like, they don't do one thing without the other knowing it. So
I still think
I'm
Candace
Team
was.
Candace on
I
that
think
one.
I still felt like Candace's crying here was very performative. She was like, I felt like she was trying to have a moment, and like because Robin was crying, and I mean there may have been some real stuff in there, but I was like, why is Candace crying? And they never could really clearly explain why she was crying.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely a Real Housewives cry off.
Yeah.
So now Candace is, still crying or whatever. And Wendy hands her a napkin and she's like, whose is this? She's like, I just found it on the table. It's not dirty. So Robin's crying that this is our life. This is our life. And I'm hurting. My husband is hurting. My children are hurting. And NECA's like, please don't cry at Chicken Shit Bingo. I don't think you're allowed to cry here.
Yeah. So there's like just like crying and crying and crying, and of course she's like, so she never apologized. I mean, it's like no, and Candace is crying and just like, well, what happened? And Wendy's like, well, Candace was trying to be a friend. She's like, so then why is Candace crying? Oh, I don't know why
silly.
she's crying.
And Mia's
like watching kids.
She always cries. She always has to make it about her. And Wendy's like, she didn't make it about her. Don't do that. Don't add gasoline to the fire. I mean, she literally is making it about her, but okay. By making a big display of crying at the table. So then Wendy is saying, I just mediated. And Giselle's like, oh, no, there's only one friend. And Robin was the friend. And that thing was not a friend. And she would not have done to Robin what she'd done if she were a friend.
And so Candace is like, I gotta go. So Candace is like, I don't know how to handle Robin's crying. I'm hurt that she's hurt, and I don't really. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. This is where it's like, okay, she's not even crying about the Chris situation. She's crying because she's like faux has some sort of empathy. So she's like, oh my god, and I don't really understand why. And from the very beginning, from all that's been going on with her, all I've wanted to do is be there for her, and I can't support her. Oh my god, these women, they're gonna ruin my eyeliner. So she's crying because she can't be a friend to Robin right now. Is that what it is? Or she's crying because
they
her
were
relationship
friends.
with Robin severed.
Yeah, I guess because they were friends. So you're still seeing, like, that was my friend, and now she's so hurt by this. And we're not friends, but I still loved her once. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. But before we were complaining, trying to decide whether it's production or cast, and my opinion was the problem lies with both. But I have to say, this cast, I mean, they are really giving it all. You've got them sobbing and crying and fighting in the middle of Chicken Shit Bingo, which is not that's like the most self-conscious place to do it, because you're surrounded by all these like country people, carrying around chickens, and there's a big loud country band and people just staring at them like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who are you people? And they're still like totally committed to their stage work. So they're committed to their craft. So, just to bring some positivity to it, this cast is dedicated to just performing no matter where they are.
This cast is an amazing, amazing cast. They hold the record for the most intact cast from their premiere, I think, right? So Rob's like, I just want to go outside. So she goes outside, and Mia's the one that follows her out. And so Wendy's like, where's she going? She wanted to be included so badly. And I guess they're just like, Rob's just going outside. It's a lot of unimportant information. She goes outside. She tells us.
Mia tries to follow her, and Robin's like, "Stop following me!" Oh. So she just kind of stands away from her, and then Giselle comes out, and they just stand maybe, what would you say, 12 feet away from Robin while she sits on a curb crying, and just talk about Robin crying.
Yeah, it was very strange. Robin's just sitting there, and she's like, Juan's been being fired as like a part of him and's been taken away from him, and like see him go through this with no plan, that really hurts my heart for my husband, and I don't appreciate the assumptions that are being made. This is just such a sensitive and emotional situation for us. The real reason she's crying, I believe, is that when Candace said, because you spoke up, you contributed to Juan being fired. I think on some level, Robin's like afraid of Juan. I feel like she's always walked on eggshells with him. Just the way she talks to her friends, the way she talks to Juan. There is such a trepidation. I feel like and when I say afraid, I'm not saying like abusive or anything. I'm not saying he's abusive. I'm just saying I don't feel like they necessarily appear like they're like on equal footing as a couple. And even the way he literally yells at her at the end of the episode, he just yells and speaks down to her. He's not attentive to like her emotional needs. Shows that there's like, to me, a very big imbalance between like the power dynamics, the emotional power dynamics between the two. And I think that she is afraid now that she is now in big trouble with Juan. And I think that's why she's crying more than anything.
Almost. I mean, she's really got a shit pie. I'm not a huge fan of Robin because of how she's treated other people over the years. But, just to look at it from her side, this is a huge shit pie for her. I mean, you've got your husband cheating on you, that coming out publicly. She's trying to argue with it. Everybody knows that he did it. I mean, come on. That hotel, we've already talked about that a million times on this, but the hotel, the girl in the hotel, and then him being like, well, I give money to homeless people. I would help anybody, even hot chicks in a casino. So that sucks. Then the other rumors about him cheating more. Then now it's like he let sexual abuse happen on his team. So then there's that. And the whole time she really just wants this man to love her, and he doesn't, clearly.
Yeah.
And now she's having to listen to all these people diss him, and now he's going to not like her more because of the show that she's involved on, which is now paying both of their bills. It's just like a shit situation. Like, I don't blame her for being depressed and crying her fucking eyes out. I really don't. But she does have really terrible karma, so just gotta keep that in there. Because whenever
wasn't always this bad.
I can't feel too bad. I can't feel too bad for somebody.
I think she's like miserable in her relationship. That's what I'm gonna say. I am going to suspect that she's miserable. I know it's not a wild take to make, but that's probably why she's treating people so bad and being such an asshole. Because thinking back, Robin used to actually be really likable. I remember there was a period of time when I really, really, really liked Robin a lot. So I think that as she has become more miserable in her relationship, I think that she has projected it outwards towards the people around her. Doesn't excuse it, but that's my outsider pop psychology theory.
Yeah, I mean, that's been kind of the plot of the show, right? Is that Juan is basically never there. I mean, the rumor has like people call them roommates, like, oh, Juan's roommate said this or Juan's roommate said that. Like, apparently, the rumors are that she doesn't live there or that he doesn't live there, that he's got his own life and his own thing and that they only shoot together. And there have been all these rumors over the years that sucks. But whatever rumors are true, it's clear that she still loves him, and it's clear that he does not feel the same way, and he's so sick of having to deal with this goddamn show. He's like, just stop trying to bring me on camera with this bullshit. And she continues to do it. So when he gets mad at her, he is not speaking to her great, but she also keeps dragging him into this shit on camera. And he's like, how many times do I have to tell you I don't want to fucking be on your show? Go do your little show and stop dragging me into it and bringing up what a slime ball I am when I'm trying to find a damn job after being fired for being a slime ball for other reasons.
Yeah. So meanwhile, there's chickens. NECA said Ashley's trying to, I guess, pet a chicken, and NECA's like, Ashley just wants to find every chicken she can find and pet it. And if there was a sheep, a rhino, any wild animal in that facility, Ashley would have become best friends with them. Not all of them have had their rabies shot, so keep some of them away from us. This was the moment when she said that when I thought, oh no, maybe NECA is a dud. Because I was holding out hope, but that line there about the rabies shot, I was like,
No, this whole episode, I was like, yeah, she needs to be gone. Bye.
Yeah.
So
there's
then
something I
Ashley
like about
talks
her,
about
but
how she
yeah.
wants, huh?
There's something I like about NECA. There really is something I really
I don't
like, but
hate her.
I am worried
It's
she's
nothing
not
like
connecting.
that. It's just you're not funny. She's just not funny. I need this cast is one of the funniest on TV. Period. I need funny people. I can't have rabies jokes. Like I just don't think it's funny. So then, that's as far as my judgment goes.
We're gonna have to extend the rabies material. Yeah.
Just all of it. I circles back and thought, well, when has she been funny? She hasn't really.
She has
Okay,
not
so
been
then
funny.
Ashley talks about how she wants to get her kids chickens, which doesn't. I don't know if that really goes with her seashore by the seaside by the seashore theme or whatever the
In
fuck
suburbia.
she's doing in that house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Right.
sure that community is chicken friendly, by the way.
I know a few people with chickens, and actually, believe it or not, most are in LA. You would think I'd know more in Texas, but there are like hippie, like yuppies who are like, we have our own chickens, and they live in like a $7 million house. Of
course.
like, but we don't pay for eggs. Got you on that one.
I know. We only have to pay, $5,000 a year to maintain this chicken and its coop and the food and it's whatever the veterinarian costs, but we get free eggs.
Yep. But I can tell you this much about chickens. They are mean motherfuckers. Chickens are horrible and mean. And whenever I see somebody eat a chicken sandwich, I'm like, that chicken probably deserved it. Wow. There, I said it. I don't eat chicken because I'm a good person. But even when I see somebody eating it, I'm like, don't blame you. Thank you. Because I can guarantee you that chicken you're eating is a motherfucker.
Wow. Well,
I said it.
You could probably make the argument for most birds. I'll just say that. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna.
Some birds are great, but chickens, no. Chickens, no. Okay, so Karen goes on her chicken. Dirty bird. I don't need chicken. Dirty bird. Triple 20, dirty bird. 8 wicks, chicken wicks. I'm coming up with a candle of chicken wicks. So she talks about that, and let's see, Giselle. Okay, so now Giselle and Mia are watching Robin cry and talking about why she's crying, and then we see all the headlines about Juan Dixon's alleged Canadian mistress speaks up, and basketball coach Juan Dixon fired amid sexual assault lawsuit.
Right. All these headlines and everything going on. And Giselle's angry that Candace would double down on them and go even harder at Robin. She's like, I do not want to sit at a table with her. Ah! And Candace, meanwhile, is crying and saying that she's not interested in repairing a relationship with someone who has poor judgment to call someone like Giselle a friend. So now Candace's thing is that she doesn't want to be friends with Robin, because since Robin is friends with Giselle, she doesn't want to be friends with Robin. So she's doing that thing, which may be fair, but also it's a little middle schooly. So then Wendy is like, when they're basically, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of like cutting back and forth between chicken shitting, Robin crying, Candace crying, and then people kind of just like talking about random stuff. But Wendy says, Robin's not my favorite person, but I think that the relationship her and Candace had was a real one, and it's clear they're both hurt. Was it that real? Wasn't the whole point of their relationship last season they got closer, but wasn't that kind of like to show, wasn't that like a performative thing by Robin to show that she's like not just like besties with Giselle, like that they're not like a package deal. They think for themselves, like she could be friends with Candace in a way.
Well,
right?
Giselle and Robin were both friends with Candace a couple of seasons ago because they were using Candace against Ashley, I guess, at that time. No? Who were they using her against? Mia? I don't know. Ashley? I don't know. There was someone, they were using her against, you know how those two work. They use people as weapons against other people. So whoever they were against, they were kind of using Candace. And then Giselle started off the season with all of this bullshit that was about Chris. And so Giselle threw it in the trash, but Robin wasn't going to do that because she knows what Juana's been doing this whole time. So she's going to need some pity when all of this stuff starts coming out about Juan. So she was pretending like, what? Rumors about cheating? I would never support that. I would always fight against that because I'm a good person. Which, well, Kawinky Dink, all those rumors were being suppressed about her and her husband the whole time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think either one of them have ever been really good friends to Candace.
Yeah.
That was a very long answer to your rhetorical question.
I never got the sense that anyone has been like a terribly close friend with Candace. She's sort of had she'll have like seasons with people. She'll have seasons where she will be like close with someone, but she doesn't have like a bestie on this show. So, Karen's like, Candace, would you like to go? Because you're crying like crazy right now. And Wendy's like, Candace, we talked about this. Candace, you know what this is because nothing has changed. Does this make sense? Nothing has changed. It's not worse. It's not better. You're fine. Stop crying. Yes, we cannot allow anyone to manipulate that situation. You cannot allow it at all. So they're just trying to make her feel better. And Mia's just watching.
And I just want to add, of course, Wendy is her bestie, right? Candace's little bestie on the show. But I think that's more of an alliance bestie kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It feels more alliance-y.
Yeah. So then NECA is saying, Wendy's just trying to manipulate Candace. Like she's accusing them of manipulation, but she's the one trying to manipulate Candace. Like Candace can't think on her own. She can't breathe on her own. She can't even cry on her own without this girl having something to say about it,
Yeah, and then they show a clip to support it that like earlier that day, Wendy was telling Candace, don't talk about like me and NECA. But the truth is they all kind of do this to each other. I don't think that Wendy is doing anything above and beyond what anyone else does on this show. Everyone butts in with each other's situations. So
yeah.
Then the ladies get up to leave, and then Robin stands up from the curb because this entire time Robin's just been sitting on a curb. So now she's sort of like meandering off into the distance. So Giselle and Mia like go and like get. Giselle's like, "Is she on the move? We can't be on the move. My heels were not made for this move." And Giselle starts going after her. Giselle looks like she's never worn high heels before in her life. She's like, ah. Now I get that her feet might be sore, but I'm also like, it seemed like she looked like she was about to topple over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty funny walk. So then, but I also have to say, Austin, not really known for its smooth streets. Okay. A lot of holy streets over here. We really, as you've seen, the entire city is under construction. Okay. One thing they don't fix, roads. Very, very rare. They'll build a new freeway, but they don't really fix old roads very much. So it's not the best place to be wearing heels. So, then Candace is talking outside to Karen about why she's mad at Robin, which we all know. And she's, Wendy's like, okay, Robin's crying because she feels that she's being blamed for Juan losing his job. And Candace is like, well, that's not smart, to be talking about legal situations and I'm not going to talk about a legal situation when that motherfucker that's suing me is still married to a woman in there. And so she's like, yeah, that's my opinion. You shouldn't be speaking on your legal shit. And Karen's like, I see that. I see that. I see that, Candace. I do. Well, it's my job to facilitate friendship, love, girls being girls with other girls. That's what we do here. No chickens, but girls. Wicks. We love wicks. No.
Wicks are in, chickens are out. Triple 20.
No double 20s. Triple 20s only. Am I right, girls?
So Candace is saying that she would like to talk, and then Karen's like, "Well, we are all grown, and we're all gonna get caught up in our feelings, right? And I still believe we'll get past this too. I mean, sure, Giselle accused your husband of being a sexual predator, and sure, you accused Giselle of using her hysterectomy for a storyline and colorism, but that's just, light words, nothing that we can't get over as a group, right?"
Here's the best place to talk about it. Chickens sitting on numbers. Let's go back in, shall we? So,
Yes.
yeah, so they decided to go back in, I guess. And Ashley is talking about how Robin is crying so hard. It must be really severe because you don't really see Robin show a lot of emotion. And Robin really is. She's just like really leaning. She's like, okay, I'm breaking down. That's it. I'm going to break down. Right next to a great pancake place, Magnolia Cafe. Listen, what I say,
Really?
don't reach for a tissue. Reach for breakfast foods. Okay? Magnolia's right there. I see the sign. Just walk over there. Have them pour some syrup down your mouth. No one can cry with syrup being poured down their mouth.
Are there multiple Magnolias, or is that the Magnolia Cafe?
No, there are a few.
Oh, okay.
It's a great breakfast
Just wanted
place.
to know. Just wanted to
We'll
know.
go. I'll take
So I'm just I'm just gonna write down a list next time I visit you, all the places we'll go to. So anyway, Robin goes off in an Uber, and then Ashley goes back inside, and you sort of think the scene is going to be over, but it's not. So now Wendy is excited because they are they're just like they're doing the chicken bingo, and now they're all watching the chicken bingo, and they're feeding the chicken, and they're waiting for the chicken to poop. And Wendy's like, before coming here, I didn't know a lot about bingo, and I still don't. But what I've learned from this trip is that chickens can shit, and you get money afterwards. I'm just not sure if I want that cash. Now, how do you not know a lot about bingo, by the way? I feel like, is there much to know about bingo? Are there subtleties?
No, I guess she's just never played bingo. I mean, I don't know, but there you go. You learn something new every day. I mean, not everyone has a grandma into bingo. I was very lucky to have a sit-through who's very into bingo. Okay, I know my way around a dauber over here.
Okay.
But not all of us have that. So later, Wendy is talking about how she convinced this nice countryman to split a ticket with her. And she's like, I sound like a country song, don't I? I convinced a little countryman to buy me a ticket, and if I win, I'm going to split the money with the man. And then they make a music video of that, which really doesn't make a lot of sense or sound country at all. But they make like a black and white music video of her saying that over country music. I know it's Ben's favorite segment, so I just wanted to recap it fully.
This was when I was like, what is happening? And then Wendy was like really into the chicken shit bingo, and Karen's like, what the hell is wrong with Wendy? The chicken world has claimed Wendy, and she's never gonna be the same again. I like to think of a chicken world. I like to think of some sort of chicken world that'll claim your soul or something. I feel like it's some sort of, what was that Kate Beckinsale movie about the vampires versus the werewolves? I feel like there's like introducing a chicken faction to it. It's like where we should go with it.
So time goes on, chicken shit bingo. So Mia, Robin, and Giselle are heading back to the hotel, and Mia's like, well, I thought we were supposed to have a good time over there, and that was not a good time. And they're like, yeah, what the hell? She goes, yeah, why was Candace even crying? Like, that makes no sense. And she's over there. And Giselle's like, yeah, she's no victim. And Robin's like, yeah, she's acting like that. Her being sad was justification for cyberbullying. Okay. You don't need to bring up cyberbullying when what is being accused of your guy is ignoring extreme cyberbullying. I mean, that was like really, really bad cyber assaulting what was going on with that guy. So please let's not use the term cyberbullying, madame.
I mean, is Candace a disaster on social media? Yes. Does she like often curse out her co-stars? Yes. But cyberbullying cyberbullying just gets way more intense than what Robin's dealing with from Candace. So then now it's the next day. Thankfully, it's the next day. And the chicken shit bingo is behind us. Everyone's waking up. Everyone's working out, doing stuff like that. It's Karen's birthday. She gets a call from her brother and everything. And Candace is talking to Chris on FaceTime. Chris, who is clearly so bored. He's clearly watching like ESPN in the background. He's like, and she's like, so we went to the chicken place, and it was, well, I got out of the car arguing with Robin, and everything was coming out. He's like, and yeah, everything's been coming up from the last few months, and everything that's been going on, I just could not turn off. It was like a lot, Chris. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's not really into that one. So it's going to be kayaking day. So Karen and Giselle are talking, and Karen's like, "Oh, I'm so happy we're in such a good place now," which is always fun with these two because it just means they're setting themselves up for another humongous fight.
Yeah,
In
that's
5 minutes.
how it goes. Yeah.
So they're complimenting each other, and oh my God, Karen just looks so young. Oh yeah, triple 20. You know, it's a very big deal because Ray's 77. And I said, "Did 60 feel like this to you?" And he said, "It did, because you wake up and you realize every day is important. And that is why I'm so happy to be with all of you, facilitating sisterhood and girl wick time of triple 20 yay women."
And she was, of course, addressing the construction workers outside her window. Ray's like, "Yes, when I turned 60, I realized every day is important, which is why I've been waiting 17 years to go move down to Florida. Every day is important. I can't be away from Florida." So then Giselle actually gives her, I thought, quite a good birthday gift. She's like, "For the first 20, here's some champagne. And for the second 20, some peanut M&Ms. And for the third 20, something shaped like a penis. A Snickers bars. Now I was like, okay, Giselle, you did just raid your mini bar for this gift. However, considering it did come from the mini bar, that was about $100 value. So, I would actually be very flattered."
Yeah. So then she gets into the main meat of this, which is the stuff with Candace. So she's like, "Listen, you're asking what's going on between me and your friend, Candace." And she's like, "Listen, I know you want everybody to move forward, but you need to understand I will not move forward because of the narrative she put forth last year, and then we see the clip of, she says, I treat people differently based off the color of their skin. And then we see a clip of Candace just going off on her and saying, "Your white looking ass," or whatever she's yelling at her. And so Giselle's like, "Listen, accusing me of racism and colorism, that is disgusting. And it caused hundreds of death threats." And then when I say that to her, she's like, "Well, I get death threats too." Like, okay, that's it. Mm-hmm. So that's not great, but you're not innocent either. So it's like, it's hard for me to feel for her. I don't think she's making a terrible point. I think when Candace gets pissed, she goes way too low. But are there points to be made about colorism? Yeah, I'm sure. Guess who doesn't really get to have an opinion on that? Me. Hi, I'm a white guy over here. But for the general point of, does Candace go too low sometimes? Sure, but you did too. So you don't get to sit here and be all innocent like, "Well, I got death threats, so it's worse for me." I mean, you were accusing her husband of sexual assault, basically, last year.
I think it's okay to judge each situation on their own. I think if Candace said, "There's no coming back from me and Giselle because she made my husband sound like a sexual predator," it's like, fine, because you could still do the same thing of like, "Well, but think of all the terrible things Candace has done in the past, yada, yada, yada." I think Candace has a point. I think Giselle has a point. They have unfortunately destroyed their relationship with each other, potentially have actually hobbled the show because they just went so deep and so dark, and it's unfortunate. But despite that, I think Giselle was like, this did not feel to me like a retaliatory scene for Giselle against Candace. This was like, it seemed like this was something that was deeply bothering Giselle. She was very serious about this, and Karen picked up on it, and Karen's like, "Got it. I will not try to." Karen was basically saying like, "Hey, we are coworkers. Come on, let's do this. Let's da-da-da." And she's like, "Oh, I see. This is deeper than being on Real Housewives of Potomac. Got it. Message delivered. Will not push this any further."
So now Mia calls Gordon because everybody's getting ready to go. So she calls Gordon and she's like, "Babe, chicken shit turned a bad shit. Okay." That was like a whole mental breakdown. And like, it's also being away from your family. Am I right? Like, I really miss you. Your balls down to your ankles and kind of the kids, I guess. What's my mom doing? Does anybody know? So he's like, "Well, I just want you to know that I've got lawyers, and my lawyers have announced that they have responded to my request to sue my family. And she's like, oh, geez, I don't want him to sue the family. And that is a problem.
Yeah. So she can't, I mean, look, Mia recognizes a sinking ship, and so she's just trying to find something to justify the impending divorce. She's like, yeah, I decided I don't like this, so this is gonna be why I leave him. Anyway, we then go to everyone getting into their cars to go kayaking, and you know, it's Karen's birthday, and everyone's happy for her, and they're all excited, and they're saying triple 20 a lot and everything, and they're all determined to make sure that she has a much better birthday than she had last year.
And basically, Karen is not even going to kayak. So if that tells you how much this is really for Karen's birthday, that's how much it's for Karen's birthday. They're doing something she does not even want to do, and she can't swim. So
she's like, I can't swim.
Have fun. So they go out on kayaks, and they have a wacky time. It's like a fun and games section where they all go on different kayaks and woo. And then Karen has them all come over, and she pours some wine down each one of their throats. And it's super fun. Super fun times, everybody.
Yeah. They're like, hey, look, Robin and Giselle are kayaking slowly. So let's, like, their music would be like Vivaldi, but the other people are kayaking fast. So their music would be like upbeat music. That's what the takeaway was. Yeah.
So then on the way back, Karen is telling everyone that she is buying a historical home in Surrey County, the home of decent speed Wi-Fi. Which is basically it's our new tagline ever since I've become ambassador there, and I'm thinking it's going pretty well. Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know, I'm going to buy my grandmother's house. It's going to be wonderful. And, you know, do you guys remember when you were little, having your grandmother having a refrigerator outside the porch? Because I found my refrigerator outside the porch. And, or something, I don't know. Just talking about a refrigerator. So she tells a story about the house.
Did you guys grow up with a refrigerator outside the house? Which I did. I mean, that's kind of a country thing, you know. Yeah. Well, I had like Candace, because Candace is like, oh, we had the deep freezer, which we had as well, which is the big.
Oh, we have one in the basement.
Yeah, deep freezer in the garage. So she's like, well, I'm getting my grandma's, and we're gonna have that. And everyone's listening to her, but she has this big long monologue about refrigerators outside and historical things. And now people are going to come to Surrey County to see the house that Karen's grandmother moved up in or grew up in. And I just love Karen's sense of self. I wish they bottled that. I wish they could like make La Dame that, like just sense of self. And you could just spray it on yourself and just walk around believing you're fucking amazing. Okay. She's got it.
The story of her family farm is actually quite wonderful, and it's really amazing, and I think it's great that she's buying and everything. But where I start to giggle is when she says, well, my grandmother's home is 104 years old, and it certainly is historical, and it's a warm and loving place, so I'm going to turn it into an experience which is a mini resort for tourism in Surrey County. I'm like, a mini resort?
It's like the Karen Resort in my grandmother's home.
But also, like, if you're leading with, oh, this is a warm place that's like full of history, it's like I don't think of going to historical places and saying, now let's install a water slide and a heated pool. You know,
Cabana boy.
We're going to have a roller coaster that's going to go over my childhood bedroom.
We're going to have a gift shop that does not sell chicken breasts, but does sell La Dame and many wicked candles. So this ends with a scene we talked about a little earlier with Robin calling Juan. So she's like, oh, hi, Juan. So he's like, yeah. Well, I'm working on a health insurance, and maybe we can still get your insurance later, but for now we have to pay for your insurance in cash. What should we do about your Medicare? I was like, seriously? I'm going to press the FF on this scene if the producers don't. Are you fucking kidding me? I have to listen to her health insurance. So then finally she's like, okay, but also it turned into a shit show over here where they brought you up again. Now, look, I know that he's sick of talking about this on camera, but she also has to tell him, because if she doesn't tell him, then he's going to be like, I can't believe all this stuff was talked about on camera and you didn't tell me. Now, does she have to tell him on camera? Probably not.
That's
and he's
the thing.
fucking over it.
Yeah. She's like, so funny story. We're getting together. And then like, once I get like, oh yeah. So enough about the health insurance. So funny story, as I was saying. So I was like talking to the ladies, you know, and like some of the ladies, like the ones I'm not close with, like Karen and Wendy and Candace, they had a lot to say about like our whole situation. And Karen's trying to infer that it looks like I've damaged the group because I didn't share this information while we were filming. Ha 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 ha. It's funny, right?
Robin, I don't care. Why?
Well, 'cause
Why are you talking about this? You are
It's so ludicrous.
this.
Well, it's 'cause I spoke about your lawsuit. I spoke about your lawsuit. That's one of the reasons they say that, because I spoke about your lawsuit. That's why you got fired. Ha ha ha. That's funny, right?
That one yell is just like that one just over it yell. I mean, my guy is just, why? He's like, I'm fucking at it with this. Stop. It's not their life. So he's basically, listen, you're perpetuating it by letting them get you and crying about it and letting entire episodes be about this and how much pain you're in and blah, 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 blah. Just drop it. Drop it. Stop talking about it with them and stop letting this be a thing that they can drag for episodes at a time out on camera, which I have to say, I kind of agree with him, but then also fuck that guy, because he doesn't get to cause all this problem and then be like, well, I'm sick of talking about it. So
yeah,
well,
and on
maybe
top,
you are, but you know, you cause this with your shenanigans, sir.
but also, like, we got an insight here, which is like, don't cry. He's telling her, don't cry, don't give them a reaction, because otherwise they're going to feed off of it. So that's what Robin's been doing all this time, is just like not giving reaction, not being honest to like what her actual emotional state is, which is probably actually destroying her on the inside. But it's also causing these moments where she's really losing the audience and her cast members, like the whole thing with the Patreon thing or whatever, like everything going after Karen last season. But then she has this issue with Juan. Juan is hammering this idea into her head, like you can't show anything, because the moment you show anything, they are going to like rip you apart. But the truth is that in her attempt to kind of hide everything and hide emotional truths or whatever, people can sense it. And so now they're just looking for a crack to bust it wide open. And that's what they've gotten. So actually, I think that she's in a worse position because she listened to Juan.
Well, she didn't try and hide it before. She just tried to get people to pay for it. She just tried to profit off of it a little bit better. It's not like Robin was hiding anything. I mean, she did keep it off the show and everything, but I think that was for her own good as well as Juan's. But, you know, I mean, I get his whole, like, shut up about it on camera. You're only making it worse. I agree with him. She is only making it worse by bringing it up on camera over and over. But I think this is also kind of her way of, like, making him pay. Why shouldn't he pay? He's the one who caused all this shit, and he's made her look stupid for years. So, I don't know. I don't really
agree with
feel
that.
for him.
I think that there is, like, a little bit of like, it's not accidental that she's bringing it up on camera. I think it is a little bit of a revenge, a little
She
needling
can't
there.
make him answer her. Like, when they're at home having these conversations, you know, whenever she brings it up, he's like, I don't care, Robin. I'm not talking about it, blah, blah, blah. But if she brings it on camera, then he's more likely to have he'll have to talk about it, right? He'll have to have some accountability somewhere, even if it's just from Twitter people telling him off, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, gosh.
could not think of two less interesting people to get whipped into a frenzy about.
And yet here we are.
Here we are. I realized, like, as you were talking and as I was talking about, like, she's keeping it closed, I realized I was like, I'm bored with myself right now. The words coming out of
Ronnie
my
and
mouth.
Ben, Frenzy Cream, whipped up daily.
We do frenzy ourselves. We frenzy ourselves like crazy. We might as well be box wine called Frenzia.
Frenzia.
But we're also friends.
funny.
We're friends. We're friends in a frenzy.
We're also Frenzia.
Frenzia.
So everybody, thank you so much for being with us. This is a great time. We won't be back with Potomac until the New Year's. This is our last Potomac recap for the New Year. We'll catch you guys up on what happened. If it's even on. I don't even know if it is because the season preview was just on. And like we said,
Yes.
the only interesting thing was Gordon because he goes, Mia, at the very end of this trailer, the trailer is like literally nothing happening and nothing happening and nothing happening, but they try on different wigs and pose a lot. But then Gordon goes, you've been cheating on me for years and I'm sick of it. And he goes, that's not fair, Gordon. He goes, you want fair? Go to a carnival.
Yeah.
That's the end of the preview. So he kind of saved that trailer for sure.
He did. Well, everyone, thanks so much for listening to us bitch and moan about the show, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye.